Nchimunya, let's start talking about your story, the building of the striker that you became. Let's start off with your formative years. Where do we start from?
Mid Costas. Mid Costas. I played under Steven Mwansa, who's currently the head coach of Quito United. And the beauty about it is that he understood me, because I was lazy when it came to physical conditioning of a player. I was very lazy, and he understood and accepted that he had this good player, but he was lazy. So sometimes when I go for training, he would make me run alone. We had an ant hill. That's where I used to make me run alone while the other players were training. But it was a good time.
All right. Let's talk about what he wanted you to do. What system did you want to play, and what would be your role?
Yeah, he used to use 4-4-2. 4-4-2, and 4-4-2, you know, it's a basic formation. 1-4-4-2 actually, because even the goalkeeper is part of the team. So we used to play 4-4-2, and my role was a striker, a nine who used to score goals. So all he wanted from me was to make the defenders not to play out, together with my colleague. Back in the days, we used to call twin strikers, because a 4-4-2 calls for a twin.
Okay, so the number 10 would not be behind you. He would actually be in the square with you.
Square with me back in the days, and it's the 1-4-4-2 is different from what we have now. But that time, these two, number 10 and number 9, would be there. This one would be here, and the 10 would be here. So these two were called twin strikers.
How do you receive the ball?
Yeah, the midfielders, the wingers, and the anchorman. Then these guys would push. That's how it used to be like. So the 4-4-2 formation, you need to have very good wingers. And back in the days, we used more of the wing play, and I scored a lot of headers, because we used to have very good crosses back in the days.
So you would hardly receive an assist, say, from the number 8?
Yeah, but it was rare. It was rare. When they give you a pass, as a number 9, the way I was good with my feet. I would keep the ball, dribble, sometimes score, but mostly it was through the wings.
All right. Was this the only position that you actually played? And on the right-hand side of the twin strikers, I'm now wondering, did you play any other position before you finally found home as a center forward?
I used to play midfield, but when I was growing up, you know, in Kabata, we used to have the games. We used to compete against each other. Even at school, sometimes when there's no goalkeeper, I would be in the goal. When there are no defenders, I would play as a center back. Even right wing, I remember, I think sometime in 1993 or 1994, I was nicknamed as Bauchi Happy Chikolo by my friends, because they used to make me play number 2, and I used to run a lot and put crosses. So they nicknamed me as Bauchi.
You called yourself lazy, but did you have any problems tracking back, especially when you played these positions, the defensive positions and midfield?
No, when it's game time, when we are playing, I used to be the most physical player on the pitch. I never used to get tired. But when it came to training, physical training, I was very lazy.
Okay, let's talk about your growth. What would you say was your biggest lesson playing under Steven Mwansa?
Um Scoring.
Headed goals.
Headed goals. I remember one time he started making me to play as a number 8 because I was very good with the ball. So in some games he said, I want you to play as a number 8. So I would play as a number 8, more like this boy Nchimunya Mweetwa, the way he plays now as a number 8. So Stephen Monsa started making me to play as a number 8. I would play, but again, we wouldn't score much of goals because we relied so much on the number 10. His name was Eric, I've forgotten the surname. So he would score one and maybe the other team would equalize. So again, he had to take me back as a number 9.
So your formative tactics is that you probably learned how to finish more with your head.
Yes.
And probably how to manage defenders. And we're talking about the 90s where defenders were brutal man markers. What would you say was the biggest lesson in terms of eluding the two central defenders?
I would dodge the defenders when I had the ball. Stephen Monsa taught me on how to hide the ball. Although it was an inborn thing, but he taught me to be effective in hiding the ball, which I did very, very well, and I learned it. And so the defenders had so many difficulties when they were facing me.
Okay, let's talk about Ndola United.
Yeah, Ndola United will always be in my heart. That's why I'm coaching it today. I scored a lot of goals, but in 4 months, I only played 4 months for Ndola United.
What would you say was your biggest lesson? Were the tactics the same? What were the demands?
For me, when I went to Ndola United, the coach, all he did for me was to make me fit. That's all. The rest, he would tell me, go and score. That was it. Go and score and enjoy the game. So I would go on the
service
pitch.
From the wingers.
Service from the wingers, but with Ndola United, I scored more central with my feet.
What was the tactical difference in the way Ndola United played during your time?
The Ndola United was playing a 1-4-4-2 as well. The same with Metco Stars. But this time around, I played more central, not waiting for the balls to come through the wings. We played more central, so I would get the ball from the midfield. They would pass to me and I would run. And by then, I started watching more of Ronaldo, the Brazilian. So I would get the ball and run with it until I score at Ndola United. But for 4-5 months.
It must have been frustrating being a winger. Then, what was the role of the wingers at Ndola United?
They were getting paid. How can they be frustrated? They were getting paid. We never lost a game.
When you're attacking, you just go forward.
Yes, and the
what positions would they need to take as they are going? Because if you're coming short as the 9, it's probably leaving spaces. So what happens to the two wingers? Do they remain on the line?
They'll remain on the line. I remember the number 7 and number 11 scored some goals, but rebound from my shots. So they would go on the wing, but again they would come inside. Because when I had the ball, I used to go central, straight to the goal.
You worked with Peter Kaumba.
Yeah.
Toshak.
The tactician. Yeah.
Quito United. Probably one of the biggest scout teams you ever played for in this country.
Yeah.
What were Peter Kaumba's ideas with
Nchimunya? His first and foremost, he's one of the best coaches that has ever coached me, Peter Kaumba. And his type of play was something that if we can use it today, I think would be winning games, but it requires players who are tactically intelligent and technically gifted. And his system was, his formation was 3-5-2. So we used to play like this. Now this is a 9.
That would be you there.
Yeah, that would be me.
Yeah. So with your wing backs.
Yeah. So we played more like this. Yeah. We played more like this. So we had very, very good players. In goal, we used to have Kennedy Mwene, the best at the
Zambia
moment.
won.
Zambia won. And then this side we had Terence Mpundu. We had Pai. He's I don't know if he's still alive, but I pray he's still alive. Very good number 5. Then we had Felix Mangwato, and Felix Mangwato played so many positions. And then we also had Kashitu, Charles Kashitu. We also had Peri Mubanga. He also played for the national team. So Peri would either come here or here sometimes. So we had Buchizi Mfune, captain of Green Buffaloes, still playing, still going strong. Then we had Joseph Stadi, the genius, and we had we used to have either Mavuto or Trinity Challenge. Once
Former Zanaco.
Yes, yes. And then here we had to fight for places.
So this part was self-selecting itself.
Yes.
So the center forward.
Center forward, we had to fight for positions because we had the natural goal scorer, Smeo Lubemba.
So was it an ultimate culture shift? In your formative years, you've talked about 4-4-2, 4-4-2. Playing as a center forward in a 3-5-2, what would you say was the principal difference?
Yeah, the principal difference was that the ball used to be more in the midfield. We played more in the midfield with less crosses. But here, so my role this time around was to make ground, to play more with a lot of space in the half of the opponent's half. So I played more here, and since I had a lot of energy, I did a lot of running at Quito United, which I enjoyed.
What did Peter Kaumba want you to actually stick and just stick in certain positions? No. He would actually give you license maybe to come and interact with them.
Yes.
Midfield 3.
Yes, but he gave me freedom to play. He gave me freedom, although I never came so much in the midfield this time around, because we had very good midfielders, and plus the addition of the wing backs. So there was no need for me to come in the midfield. But in the opponent's half, I was a menace. I was a menace. I did the donkey work for Smeo Lubemba. And we also had Joseph Walawale, very good player on the ball. No defender used to get a ball from his legs. He was very, very good. So I do the donkey work, the other guys were scoring. With Quito
almost
United,
playing as a number 10 now.
More like it. With Quito United, I never scored a lot of goals, but I created more goals. So there was a difference. With the other two clubs I played for, Medical Stars and Ndola United, I did a lot of scoring, but with this team, I did a lot of creating.
So tell me something, in terms of attack, so you've got your two center forwards there, you've got your two wing backs,
yeah.
And then the midfield, how many would actually remain as how many? Who?
This one remained. Oh, so let's say the number 6. He remained. He was very skillful. He remained most of the times. This guy would go there, this guy would go there, and this guy would go there. That's how we played our football. So this one used to run behind me most of the times. This one behind the number 10. This one would go there. So we had so many numbers in attack.
Not worried about the counter.
Not worried about it, because these guys would push up. When we go in attack, this one would come here, more like a libero, as a sweeper. And then these guys would push and be here. So when this guy has gone, and then the ball, where's the ball? The ball is put here. If he's late, this guy would go there and cover the other guy. That's how we played.
Interesting. And most of your opponents at the time were probably still playing 4-4-2.
Yes. That time. That's why the second half of the league, 2005, we never lost a game in the second half. We went and defeated in the second half about 15 games. We never lost a game, and we went ahead to win the BP Top 8.
Okay.
Same formation.
Same formation.
Yes.
And you loved it. Given a choice, would you have loved that it was a system that probably many other teams played?
Yes.
With specific reference to Ndola United and Medical Stars, where you were previously.
Yes, because this one made me to run everywhere, but especially in the opponent's half.
Without worrying about tracking back?
No, because we had 5 midfielders.
Let's talk about your time at Zesco United, another Ndola team.
Yeah, I went back home. I went back to Ndola United, to Ndola, and then played for Zesco United. The first time I went to Zesco United, Dabi Chulufya said, you were the only shark at Quito United, but now you've come at a team where there are so many sharks. Everyone is a shark here, so you have to work extra hard. And which I did, although I never scored so many goals also with Zesco United. It was a bit difficult for me.
Why? Tell us how Wesley Mondo wanted you to line up and actually play.
Yeah, so with Zesco United, now that's when I started playing as a lone striker. So the formation changed. But it was still 4-4-2. Still 4-4-2, but more of a diamond shape in the midfield. So now that's how we played. Zesco United. Lone striker.
What was the mode of attack? How do you receive the service? Because now, if you're saying diamond, previously, probably no wingers. If the crosses are going to come, it's probably from the right back,
yeah,
and the left back.
We had Koje Kafula Kasonde, Francis Kafula Kasonde, very good midfielder. Yeah, like that, very good. So you know your football. Yeah. So what used to happen was, when he has the ball, he would first play with the number 10. And then, where's the ball? So once the ball comes here, back to him, we had wingers flying. They flew a lot. They used to go in the wings. So when he had the ball, he had a very, very good first touch. When it's coming to him, you would have seen the number 7 and the number 12. So he used to put the ball in the wing. When we played against Township Rollers, I scored 2 crosses from the wingers, from a Francis Koje's pass. Francis Kasonde into the wing. Boom, I was there to score.
Leading the line alone, something that you had never really done.
Yeah.
So it was a fresh bunch of tactics.
It was my first time now playing.
What did you need to learn about leading the line alone?
Yeah, I needed to learn on how to keep the ball, to dictate the play of the game, and on how to wait for the other players to join me. I had to learn that. Again, I had to learn when they have the ball on how to shadow mark and channel the other team to go either on the left or on the right side, to go one direction. They shouldn't go back to the other side. I learned that when I played for Zesco United.
Under Wesley Mondo.
Under Wesley Mondo.
Let's talk about Zesco Part 2. Wada Wada is the man in charge. Tell us his ideas and what he needed you to do.
That man is philosophy. You've got to be fit. You've got to be fit, because him, it's athletic football. That's his philosophy. I became fit. I have never trained like I did with Wada.
Laziness out.
Laziness out. But again,
non-negotiable too.
Non-negotiable, but we reached a point where he came to understand that I was lazy when it came to running, but when it came to shuttle runs, I was good. I was good. So he understood when we were running the 18 to 18. My friends would find me here. Them, they would run up to the other side, whilst me, I'm still by the center, and then they would find me. We also played the 4-4-2, but the number 10 was behind me. Yeah.
So you are the 9 there.
Yes.
And then you.
Yeah. But not so much. And then this guy, yeah.
Then
yeah.
There.
Yes. So that's how we played with Wada. With Wada, you had to be fit.
How did you attack? How did you defend?
We used to attack as a team, as a block, and we defended as a block with Wada. And 2007, Zesco United were the champions at the end of the season.
What were the kind of goals which you scored under Wada? It's because if you're learning Wetson Nyirenda now, you see most of his teams, you've got the back four pinging a lot of passes into
the center forward.
Into the center forwards. Was it the same during your time?
Yes. And in 2007, that was the time I left for Europe. But when I was there, we used to play the long ball, either a center back, these two. They would play into me. If this guy hasn't run behind me, I would drop the ball to him, and then he would put in the wing, and then the winger would come and put a cross. If he has gone past me, I would either flick it on for him to catch it, or he goes so that he draws the defenders with him. And then I would drop the ball to either this midfielder to put the ball behind the defenders. And then we scored a lot of goals. When this guy has gone, he puts the ball there. Then this guy would come, put the ball. This one would draw another player. Then the ball would find me here, and I would score with Wada.
Almost lone striker again.
Almost lone striker, but the number 10 was closer.
So the instruction from the team is that put the ball, find Nchimunya.
Yes, find the striker. And then when I left for Europe, the guy who came to do this role was Enoch Sakala. Yeah, Enoch Sakala, and he was I think the second highest goal
Goal
scorer.
scorer behind Renford.
Yes. So Renford was the number 10. Sometimes he was the number 10. Again, he was number 8. And the guy is still a genius. He scored goals that very few Zambians can score like that.
But tell me something. In the case of Renford Kalaba, if the ball is coming from the defenders there and says, fine Nchimunya, Renford would need to
run fast.
And get the second ball.
Yes. Either get the second ball in front of me or behind me. Or he would go like that.
And he got a good number of goals. Top scorer,
Yes.
18 goals.
Yes.
2008.
18 goals.
Plus, in the league.
Oh, okay.
In the league.
Yeah.
In the league. Just qualifying that one.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Rops.
Yeah.
What did Rops buy from Zambia? And what did they want?
You know, when the time I was playing for Zesco United, I was a lone striker. See, I was a lone striker, and the number 10 was closer to me. With which team also which I played? With the national team. When I was playing for for Quito United, that was the time I started playing for the national team. And the national team also, Kalusha's way of attack was a lone striker, but with the number 10 closer to the lone striker. So when I went to Rops, I was playing as a lone striker. I had to learn.
Under which formation now?
Under 1-4-4-2.
Again.
But now with 2 attacking midfielders.
For your support. So,
yes.
Again, things...
So like that. That's how we played. 2 attacking midfielders.
So, the number 6. So,
yes.
Almost like a 1-4-1-4-1.
Yeah.
So, you're leading the line. So, what was the lesson? Now, since you're not... The number 10 is not closer to yours, not square,
yeah.
but it's coming from deep. What did this mean?
This meant that every ball that I received, I had to find these guys. They had to
So they would also go long into you and try to get
yes.
the 2 attacking midfielders.
Yes, the first year. The first year, that's how we played. They used to find me, I dropped the ball, and then these guys would play in the wings, then bam. We even won promotion that year.
Did you actually have license instead of having to ping it back when the ball comes there?
Yes.
Face the goal.
Yes. These guys, you know, with the Zambian lone strike, the 4-4-2, but lone strike, I had to do a lot of running, coming here and go back there, run this side and get back there. But when I went there, the first game I played as in a friendly match, I arrived I arrived on a Tuesday. Wednesday we were playing against a team from Sweden. I did the runnings, the donkey work, just like we do here in Zambia. So I was running, I received the ball, I got the ball from here, somewhere here, played with the midfielders, played with the winger, and the winger played it, put across, the number 12 scored. Half-time, the head coach said to me, are you a playmaker or a center forward? If you're a playmaker, tell us, we'll send you back home. Because we are looking for a center forward. We don't want to see you running here, there, or there. All we want from you is to stay here.
Center forward.
Center forward. We don't want
so
to see
in
you
the
running
box
everywhere.
and
yes,
just in front of the box.
just in front of the box. And
how difficult was it to digest
It took me 3 months to adapt.
You were very patient.
They were very patient, and I'll tell you the secret. The coach for ropes is not the one who signed me. The coach for ropes said I had failed the trials. When I went back home, the president of the team came to my room and said, I have seen something in you that I saw 14 years ago in Z Sileti. I'm going to sign you. I'm putting my head on the chopping board. So he signed me and imposed me on the coaches. 3 months down the line, I started scoring goals, and in 2007, that's when I became the record holder of scoring in consecutive.
So, what did it mean in terms of service and whatnot? So stick in the
Keep
box
the
or
ball,
just outside.
hold the ball, score for us. So now it went back to the first years of my football, where Ndola United as a...
Was there any big culture shift?
Yes.
Looking at where you're coming from, what were the biggest lessons you needed to learn about now sticking and you needing to be in fixed positions all the time?
Yeah, that I needed to reserve the energy. When the ball came to me, I needed to have the energy to turn and score, or to keep the ball and wait for the midfielders to come and get it.
Were you man-marked a lot? Did you need to come between the lines to get it, or you needed to be on the back of the central defense?
I used to come here. I had to learn on how to dodge these players, the centre backs. I had to learn on how to dodge them. So I would either come here, get the ball, hold it, and wait for these guys to join me, or the wingers. Different with the way I was playing in Zambia. There was so much difference.
I want to ask this. Then you come back to Zambia, Chipolopolo, then you say Kalu now believes in a 4-4-2.
Yes. And
in your generation here, the likes of Milanzi, Collins Mbesuma, Jacob Mlenga, and the like, James Chamanga as well. What did you need to be a striker for Kalu?
A striker for Kalu is not different for Watson's striker. A striker for Kalu, you had to be fit.
Again.
You had to make these defenders work. And I did that, although that was the time Besuma was on peak.
Did you play with Collins?
Yes,
I'm sure if Collins played, he would be the 9. Then you'd probably need to be the second striker.
Yes. But if Collins is playing, I used to, as a second striker, but more in front, and Collins would come, because Collins...
As a 10, he would play more of a 10.
As a 10, because Collins, you know how talented that guy is.
Fantastic with ball at feet.
And I was privileged enough to play alongside him.
Tell me something. A lot of young strikers will be watching you right now. What would you say is the greatest 101 about being a center forward, playing through the 90s and better part of the new millennium?
Yeah.
Modern day striker.
Modern day striker, you've got to be athletic and strong. Modern day striker. Because if you are weak, you can't play as a center forward. This time you don't really need the skill as a striker this time. This time all you need is to be athletic, strong on the ball, and to score.
Wow. If it was going to play any other position throughout your professional career, which one would you have preferred? If it wasn't for the striking.
A number 11.
Professionally.
A number 11.
Nchimunya, thanks a lot.
Thank you.